Hi there, my name is Dulcie. I am a mama of 4, a pregnancy yoga teacher, a hypnobirthing teacher, and a Qoya teacher. And I'm passionate about promoting a calm and positive and empowering birth experience. My wish is, with my hypnobirthing clients, to empower them to make the best informed, calm, clear decisions throughout the rest of their pregnancy and into their birth. So, what is hypnobirthing? Well, hypnobirthing is nothing new. It's been around and used in medicine for years. In 1955, the British Medical Association agreed that there was a place for hypnotism in the effective method of relieving pain in childbirth. And a study by an NHS hospital trust in 2012 showed that women practicing hypnobirthing were 20% more likely to have a normal birth without medical intervention than those not practicing. So, let's look at hypnotherapy. What is hypnotherapy? Really, it's simply words. It's words used in a slightly more positive and focused way to help us let go of some of the negatives we've all acquired in life. Many of us know that hypnotherapy can be practical and effective, helping people stop smoking, for example, or a little bizarre, like the stage hypnosis that we've all seen. But really, hypnosis is just an altered state of consciousness, akin to sleep. We all fall into it twice daily, when we wake and when we go to sleep. Hypnagogia is the experience of the transitional state between wakefulness and sleep in humans. It means that when we are very relaxed, the conscious part of our mind moves to one side and allows the unconscious part of our mind to receive beneficial suggestions. So, we use hypnobirthing, using words positively, to help us let go of negatives we've acquired in life. We all know that words can build us up or tear us down. When you're pregnant, if someone says, "Wow, you're tiny," or "Wow, you're massive," or in labour, "You're only 2 centimetres dilated," or if you're asked, "Do you have any aches or pains?" you'll go looking for the aches and pains that weren't there 20 seconds prior. Now, hypnobirthing, many hypnobirthing mothers report very little observable pain in their labour, simply strong sensations. And I will use the term surge rather than contraction, because a contraction is a medical term with pain connotations, whereas surge is closer to the truth. Now, with regard to pain, it's a great idea to change our attitude toward it, to the pain in labour. It's not like the pain of breaking an arm. We need these surges, helping to birth our baby. It will be incredibly powerful, but it's often reported with hypnobirthing clients to not be painful. So with hypnobirthing, it is like the opposite of every exam you may have taken. Exams where you study and cram, reproduce what you've learnt on the day. With hypnobirthing, you let go of the fear and build confidence every day. And on the day of the birth, you simply trust and have faith in your body to do what it is beautifully designed to do. Now, looking at a continuum of pain from 0 to 10, from perfectly comfortable to being in serious pain, hypnobirthing will always move you towards more comfort. It always makes a difference, and birth is often gentle, drug-free, quicker, and more comfortable. So many midwives recommend hypnobirthing because they see it in practice and wonder, how is she so relaxed? How is she so comfortable? It's a privilege for them to witness something so calm and beautiful. It's my firm belief that this practice should be made available to all women everywhere. Now let's look at our mind. Our minds can only hold one thought at a time. Negatives are important. If I say, don't think of a blue chimpanzee, I bet that's exactly what you're thinking of. We negate the negative and just think of the instruction. The mission as a hypnobirthing mama is to avoid negatives where possible. So maybe stop someone in their tracks if they are sharing a negative birth story and ask for their empowering stories instead. Now, our minds are like an iceberg. The conscious brain is the part above the surface. It's large and powerful, and to be treated with respect. It's responsible for our short-term memory. It is linear, logical, responsible for our fight and flight response. It's on the lookout for bad situations to protect us from. Beneath the surface of the water is the far larger part of the iceberg, far larger and more powerful, and should be treated with huge respect. The unconscious mind, whose patterns allow us to act automatically without introspection. We breathe, we grow our hair, we blink. The autopilot. The unconscious contains emotions, long-term memory, and imagination. Einstein said, the unconscious mind is a sacred gift, and the conscious mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Now consider that birth only really moved into hospitals around the 1950s. Prior to that, birth was seen and heard by women in the community. It was part of life. Now there is the mystery and the negative stories. Women go into hospital and come out with a baby. There's much drama surrounding birth, and it's become our new normal. The data supports this as birth becomes more medicalized. There is a cascade of intervention. The C-section rate in the UK is around 30%, 40% in the US, in the Far East, Africa, Middle East, more like 80%. And one private clinic in Dubai has a 100% C-section rate. Now, C-sections can be the most wonderful, life-saving operations, and we are so lucky to have a fantastic health service there if we need them. But the issue is when medical intervention becomes routine. Only 4% of babies arrive on their due date. The maths was created in the early 1800s by a German obstetrician, Franz Nagel, who declared a pregnancy should last for 10 moons of 4 weeks. And this is what the maths is based on. In the UK, full term is 40 weeks, 41 in most of Europe, up to 43 weeks in Kenya. Yet inductions are becoming routinely booked in for due date plus 10 days. And there is this cascade of intervention, not working with the body's natural rhythms. Anything artificial into the body means there is no rest. There's this low-lying tension with the drugs, and you're more likely then to need an epidural and medical intervention. It is my firm belief that women need to be empowered, restore faith in themselves and their incredible birthing bodies. When we are pregnant, without any conscious effort from us, our babies grow and are nurtured and nourished until they're ready for birth. There is widespread implicit trust in our bodies to do this. Why should we not have implicit trust in our bodies to birth? Looking at how other mammals give birth, pets, farm animals, wild animals, they will find safe, dark spaces to birth. They won't give birth if they're nervous or being observed. You hear of tribal women doing the same, squatting in peace, in a calm space with no interruption, moving into their primal birthing zone. Which brings me on to the logic of hypnobirthing, because one of the joys of it is that it is based on sound and irrefutable logic. Now, number one, looking at the muscles of the uterus and how they work. The uterine muscles sit in two main layers. One runs vertically up and over the top of the uterus, and one runs horizontally, forming bands or loops encircling the baby and the placenta as they grow. The bands of horizontal muscles are thicker and stronger near to the cervix. The bands are drawn up during labour, causing the cervix to thin and open. During pregnancy, the upper vertical muscles remain relaxed, while the tone in the strong horizontal muscles, especially those at the bottom of the uterus, hold the baby up and in, exactly where we want them to be. During labour, their roles reverse, working as a pair, much like your bicep and tricep. Their action draws the baby down the abdomen and out of the uterus into the birthing canal. When a woman is calm and relaxed, these muscles work in easy harmony. During a surge, the upper vertical fibers actively contract and shorten. This draws the inner layer of horizontal muscle fibers, thickest just above the cervix, up and out and back, causing the cervix to thin, dilate, and open, eventually reaching that magic number of 10. Unfortunately, when a woman is nervous or tense, this team cannot work so harmoniously. From an evolutionary point of view, it makes sense. It's not sensible for your body to deliver your baby quickly and in its immediate environment if it senses stress hormones. It's unable to differentiate from genuine or perceived threat, so our bodies err on the side of caution. In this case, the horizontal muscles also tense up, so are unable to move upwards as the vertical muscles pull on them. It's a bit like trying to straighten your arm with both your bicep and tricep muscles contracting. The tension from these now opposing muscles, combined with the pressure of the baby's head pressing down onto a cervix that isn't easily able to open, causes pain. When a woman feels this pain, it confirms her worst fears about the impending agony of labour. This only heightens the state of stress that initially caused the problem. This leads to a circle of feedback, the fear, tension, pain syndrome, as coined by Grantley Dick Reed about 100 years ago. The more stress hormones, the more opposing muscular action, gives a longer, more painful labour. Maybe you could just move and tense your fingers in your hand. In this crone hand example, make them stiff and try to move your fingers. it's really hard. If you relax them and just let them flow, see how much easier that is. Now, when the muscles work normally, we have more efficient, comfortable, shorter labour with fewer surges. So, this comes to the second point of why hypnobirthing is so logical with regard to our nervous system and hormones, our sympathetic and parasympathetic. Our sympathetic is our freeze, fight or flight. We have adrenaline. Our eyes may be out on stalks, our hearts beating fast, blood and oxygen sent to extremities. Adrenaline prohibits oxytocin, one of the hormones needed to facilitate labour. The response is a lifesaver in an emergency when faced with imminent death, but usually not useful in labour. The parasympathetic is our normal state, calm and happy, our rest and digest. Oxytocin is produced here, the love hormone produced when we fall in love, make love, and after birth. It's also called the shy hormone. The suggestion is to birth your baby in the same environment in which you made your baby, where you feel relaxed and comfortable. Oxytocin is shy when you're observed. Oxytocin stimulates the working of the uterine muscles, the surges. It makes labour more efficient, stimulates production of endorphins, nature's natural pain relief, making labour more comfortable. And in our parasympathetic nervous system, blood and oxygen is supplied to the internal organs, including our digestive and reproductive organs, and our baby through the placenta. So what makes the difference between sympathetic, where adrenaline is produced, and parasympathetic, where oxytocin is produced? Fear, worry, stress, being observed or watched. Now, if one woman's body can birth perfectly, any woman's body can. The perfect system is already in place. All we need to do is move our neocortex out the way and allow our body to work. So, when fear is present, our fight-flight response, our sympathetic, is triggered. Chemical reactions in the body cause stress hormones to be released, adrenaline, which constricts the muscle rather than relaxes it, so the body tightens and tenses, the opposite of how we want birth to be. And here is the fact again, you cannot produce oxytocin and adrenaline at the same time. One negates the other. You cannot produce them together. So in hypnobirthing, we are training you, mind and body, to remain calm and relaxed however your birth unfolds. You will know how to breathe deeply by doing the visualizations. You know to move with your surges, producing an abundant supply of oxytocin, knowing that the deeper you breathe, the more oxygen you produce, the more oxytocin you produce. And then you allow your body to birth the way it is perfectly designed to, the uterine muscles working perfectly, each one working perfectly. I hope this has helped you. I find it fascinating. I hope you enjoy the visualizations in Qoya Mama, and I wish you a beautiful pregnancy, labour, and an empowered birth. Thank you.